Is Tuesday, February 18, 2025. Today's rant is brought to you by Cam Newton, I'm an expert on nothing, and I just want to preface this by saying, like, Cam Newton. There are two things he said. Obviously, he said this after the Super Bowl, so I'm a little late to this. When he said on ESPN First Take, he said, "I'll just rather be MVP, and I wouldn't trade that for the Super Bowl." And I kind of hear him, and I kind of don't. What I see is a guy that doesn't win at all costs. He's a great player, and he had a great career. I'll give him that, and that's for sure. But that's a guy who just, like, I don't know. It sounds like he's bitter when you say stuff like that. Um, I guess I guess you played a game for MVPs. No, I understand. I understand he had a great career and he was a great player and he did change the Carolina Panthers. But then the second thing he comes up and says on a podcast, and I forgot which one, when he says, when I got to Carolina, he gets to Carolina and he he said that the reason why I was number one pick is because they were bad, and that is true. They were 2-14 the year before you got there, but just 2 years before that they were 8-8, and then another year before that they were 12-4, and they were the second place team in the NFC that lost um, to the Arizona Cardinals, and Larry Fitzgerald really killed them in the second round. But here's the thing: like, you had a great rookie year. You were rookie of the year, and you deserved it. You won an MVP. You deserved that MVP. There's no doubt about it. You made a Super Bowl. Good for, like, you had a great team. But I'll say this, and when he says stuff like he would rather win an MVP than have a great career rather than be a Brad Johnson, Trent Dilfer, I hear him, because Brad Johnson, Trent Dilfer, no one's saying that they were the best quarterbacks out there. But I'll say this right now: there are guys who win Super Bowls, and they are not of the best players in the league at the time they won the Super Bowls, or the best quarterbacks in the league. But when it's all said and done, most people are going to go out there and say they had a better career than you, and they had a better career than him because he won, and he was winning at a high pace. You had two buys. One year of the second round, where you lost to San Francisco. I think, yeah, that year they were really good, and then the year that they were 15-1 and lost in the Super Bowl to Denver, and will always be, because you say stuff like that. When you didn't dive on the floor for that ball, it would always be a thing on you. It would always be a picture of, say, okay, that's his attitude. That's an attitude that you have because of the way you talk right now. You sound bitter. Now, I'm a bitter guy too. I understand that. But he sounds like a bitter man, that he's so upset about how his career went a little bit, especially how it ended in New England. And specifically, like, that team was winning 12 games automatically a year. They were pressed 12 games. And when they got you, everybody was thinking, okay, they're going to win 10 games at least, 11 games, and they didn't. And they looked bad. And you at the end, you went from team to team. You went back to Carolina. I don't even know where you went in the middle. Did you, after you left New England? Did you even go to another team? No one even knows. But the thing is, you were just so bitter about that. What are you bitter about? And New England, like, got rid of you for a rookie quarterback, and they threw you off the team. Are you still upset about that when they made the playoffs? See, between you and Tom Brady goes 12-4. You come in, you go 7-9, and then the next year, Mac Jones, rookie, goes 10-6. You want to go there? You want to call out teammates and say, when I came, it was a bad team. When I came, it was a bad this. When Carolina had a bad year, no doubt about it, and that's why they got the number one pick. But right before that, they were really good, and they had players in that team. I don't want to hear they didn't, because they had tight ends who were solid tight ends even before you showed up. Okay, Jeremy Shockey was always a solid tight end. So was Greg Olsen, and Steve Smith was on trajectory to be a great, legendary player before you showed up. Now, did you revive his career and you helped him? Absolutely. But Steve Smith, if I recall, had a great year in Baltimore when he left you. Now, you can't keep going and saying and not talking about help. You keep talking about how you were the team. You were a great part of the team. You were the quarterback, yes. But you can't. it's just an ungrateful line, and he's been ungrateful since he retired. He's been like controversial, which is crazy, which is great because I get it. That's how you make money, and that's how you get clicks and all that stuff, and that's good. But I understand that. But you are you grateful for anybody really? Like, are you? I don't even know. I don't even notice that. I mean, you look at like that thing that you didn't dive on the floor. I didn't make at the time. You're in the moment. I didn't make a big deal of it because at the same time, at the same time, like you're in the middle of a heat of a moment. You don't know, but I guess it was bad. I guess it was. Is that who you are? Like you don't care. You only care about certain things. You don't care about the team. Do you? When you talk about you had a Deshaun Foster, Jonathan Stewart, they were great 1-2 backs for a long time. I mean, it sounds bitterness, and it's fine, but that's who you are. And Jalen Hurts, I'll say this about him: is Jalen Hurts better than you? I don't know, especially during your great years. But at the same time, he will go down as better than you. He will always go down being better than you because that's how the consensus work. And then you say about Super Bowls and bounces, and yeah, bounces are part of the game. And guess what? Because of Malcolm Butler, Tom Brady looks better. Because of 13-3 against the Rams, the LA Rams, when Tom Brady doesn't even score a touchdown, and he really had one good drive that whole game. Yes, Tom Brady looks better. And the same thing with the first Super Bowl. Had Ty Law not had a pick six that game, guess what? Tom Brady might not be the starter the next year. You don't know. Tom Brady's not looked at the same. But that's how it is. Bounces go your way. The tackle at the 1 yard line to Dyson for the Titans, Kurt Warner is not looked at the same. Kurt Warner might not even make the Hall of Fame because if you recall, Kurt Warner had a bad stretch from literally that Super Bowl game against the Patriots. After that game, he was never really that great until he went to Arizona. He revived his career, and those bounces don't go his way. If those bounces don't go his way, or that tackle doesn't go his way, he's not looked at as a Hall of Famer. Yes, tackles made by the defense makes a quarterback look better. Yeah, welcome. This is how it is. Is it too bad? Absolutely. Is it fair? No. Welcome to the world. Okay, the world isn't fair, and okay, people are born into millionaire families, and people are born into poor families, and that's how it works. Okay, there are people who invent things, people don't see it, and people invent the other things, and everybody sees it, and that guy gets the $1 billion contract. Yes, it's up to God who gets it, but it's the same thing here. Now you made a lot of money in your career, and congratulations, and good for you on that. There's no problem with it. But when you call out teammates and you sound unsatisfied, not just unsatisfied, ungrateful for who you had and who caught the ball for you. Remember, you only look good if the guy catches the ball. If everybody drops the ball, you don't look good. If nobody blocks, you don't look good. Now, even if you didn't have the best offensive line, but people put their hands on the other defensive line's chest, guess what? You look much better. Okay? Just for that alone. I'm just saying, like, this is it's insanity. You had a center that I'm not sure. I don't remember his last name. And his brother was picked by the Vikings years ago. That was a really good center in the league. What about him? Ron Rivera. Ron Rivera came in with you. He looked like a decent coach. Did you make him look good? Yes, but you got to give him credit for it. This is a two-way street in this world. Okay, when you say like, "Yo, I came on a terrible team," no, that team had a terrible year the year before. I mean, Peyton Manning, I understand, came on a terrible team, but he had a Marshall Faulk who was a great player already. I mean, you can't keep like doing this. You got to be grateful for what you had. He had a Marvin Harrison who was a solid receiver before Peyton Manning. He wasn't a Hall of Famer, but you got to like Peyton Manning can't. Maybe privately he says stuff like that. But when you say publicly and you bash players who helped you get to where you are, helped you get MVPs, who helped you get all these awards and all these Pro Bowls, and yes, Pro Bowls are not the greatest only thing, but all pros and looking really good, you got to be grateful for that. But when you're ungrateful when you say stuff like that, and it's disappointing. It's very disappointing when guys are ungrateful for what they had and who they played with, for them catching the ball for them blocking for them. It's just ridiculous. All right. Thank you for listening. Leave a comment, please, and tell your friends about me, and subscribe to my channel, RUF326, and follow me on Rumble, RUF26. Please leave a comment so I could hear your opinions. Obviously, my opinion is a little harsh, but you can disagree with me all you want. That's why it's a great thing we live in America. Have a great day.